Hello, I'm Sean McBrearty, and I'm here today representing Oil and Water Don't Mix and Clean Water Action. I want to spend most of my time today talking about some of the points that have been made concerning this board's activities and purpose. From your own website, the first words of it read, "The Mackinac Straits Corridor Authority is responsible for overseeing construction and operation of a tunnel and bedrock beneath the water of the Straits of Mackinac." Overseeing being the present participle tense of oversight, your role is oversight. You were wrong earlier when you said you have no oversight role. Overseeing is a serious responsibility that you have, and unfortunately that oversight so far has mainly consisted of hearing from Enbridge and their contractors. They're telling you one side of a story and the other side is not being heard by this board. You heard comments from Brian O'Mara today, a tunneling expert who has thoroughly reviewed Enbridge's oil tunnel plans and has raised serious concerns regarding the lack of geotechnical research and planning and the very real risk of explosion during and after tunnel construction. These concerns have been voiced by other experts as well and are now part of the record before the Michigan Public Service Commission. MPSC has a role in deciding whether or not to approve this project moving forward, but your role is explicitly oversight. You extended Dr. Mooney's contract today, although as an expert, he ought to be aware of these issues that other experts have raised and has failed to raise them with you so far. I wonder if profit is a motive there. As an oversight authority, you will share the blame if this project moves forward and something goes wrong. Wouldn't you rather have it in the record that you heard from all parties and valid experts and considered these possible outcomes in advance? If you continue to listen only to those who would profit from this project moving forward, you're doing yourselves and the public a major disservice. Even if the risk is small, the potential impact is huge and warrants your attention. We also raised concerns to this board and in comments today about the conflict between Enbridge's 20-year depreciation timeline and their agreement to a 99-year lease with the state of Michigan. On the one hand, they've told a federal regulator that their whole pipeline system will essentially be worthless by 2041, and on the other hand, they've told you that they intend to operate an oil tunnel for the next century. Both of these things cannot be accurate. This as well warrants your attention because it's a huge conflict and could open up the state to having to pay for an expensive and dangerous stranded asset for years into the future. I'm sure Enbridge would never lie to a federal regulator in order to extract larger profits by raising tariffs for the next 20 years, but there's a substantial difference between what they've agreed with you and what they've asked for from FERC. You ought to be looking into this as well before further tax funds are wasted on this project. The lack of geotech research, serious feasibility questions raised by experts, and the contradiction between a 20-year depreciation timeline and a 99-year lease gives credence to the theory that Enbridge never intends to build this tunnel. They're using this process as cover to keep an outdated and dangerous pipeline operating through the heart of the Great Lakes until they've extracted all the profit they can while our water remains at risk. And the only member of this board who has mentioned transparency and oversight is not here today. Thank you.